Yeah, hello, this is Dave from cheapbooks.com playing Cities in Motion 2. This is an ongoing game that I have. I'm going to show you some progress first. This is an intersection that I had a lot of problems with. My 8 train, which you can see over here on the right, was bogging down over here. So one of the ways I fixed it was I made an elevated route. Actually, what it does is it takes this right turn over here, hooks back around, and leaves. But I also made it so that other trains can bypass the intersection, drop off some passengers, and a small number of passengers are using the bridges to cross the street, which is reducing pedestrian traffic. You can see here what it looks like. They could otherwise have been on the lower level, preventing traffic from passing through. And you can see they did split in two directions. And then I have the 8 line, which I improved dramatically. And the way I improved it was I made underpasses on all the minor roads. It might take some time for the buildings to grow back, but they will come back. You can see I made another underpass over here. I made about 6 or 7 underpasses. This is where I would add an underpass. And I had to do so on the 13 line also. You'll notice over here there's a pedestrian bridge, which is included with the map. The 13 line's a little bit tricky for me because my highway goes under the 13 line, so I can't easily do underpasses. So what I did in this case was I made a bridge. And the bridge is going to make it easier for the 13 line to get to where it's going. And notice that all the buildings did come back. So I'm going to explain to you real quick how to build a bridge. What you do is you take your road and you build a new road like so, starting at the halfway point, like this. So I would build that intersection, build another one over here like that, delete the part that's in the middle, remove the little extensions, little stubs that I added, remove them, and then take the bridge and use the center of this road as a guide and build the bridge over and connect to the other side, and it's almost perfectly lined up. It's not going to be perfect, but it's very close to what the original was. Now, one of the issues I have is I have too much traffic on this depot, and you can see that there's a depot underneath it, which has a lot less congestion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and route some of that traffic to the depot underneath. And I showed how to do this in another video, and I'm going to show how to do it in this video. So the first thing I have to do, I have the feeling it's going to be one of the lines from the east. I have to figure out which line I'm going to use. I'm going to turn each line on. Okay, so for 15, I have to take this major road going across. Until I get to, that's 14. A little bit more until I get to here. And then I have to make sure that these intersections link up together. So I'm going to add a rail line like so, heading south. I'm going to add another one here, connecting inward. Now, if I add that depot right now, I'm good to go. But the matter is that I still have the possibility that the 15 is accessing some of these stops. For example, stop number 142. So I have to remove stop number 142. It should be near the end. There's 142. Plus, I got to remove the 2 waypoints. And I have to remove the 2 starting waypoints. And the question is, where is stop 262? I don't know. So I am going to, if it's right here, then we're in luck. That's it. So now we have to remove the last depot and then remove the first depot. No longer on that depot. I'm going to come over here, and if everything works properly, I'm going to click on this twice. It's adding it on the beginning and adding it on the end. Okay, so for the end, it was not able to add it, which means that there's an error somewhere in the track. I'm going to keep on going across, see if I spot a gap. Okay, I know what the problem is. The problem is that there is a stop, which is this one right here. Oh no, it's not the problem. It's possible that there's another stop somewhere in between. So this is stop number 255. It should be the last one. There's another waypoint that needs to be removed. So I'm going to remove that waypoint. And now I'm going to go back and see if I can add that depot. And it did add. The only thing is that it's going the wrong way around the block, and I don't want it to go that way. So I have to figure out if I can make it go this other way. One way I can do it is to add this stop. Let's see if that works. No, it doesn't. It's very strange. Okay. The reason why is because I need to add a track going through this intersection north to south. So I'm going to pick up a single lane track, start here, go to here, and that should fix it. Let's see if I added it. It says the line is already complete. Okay, let's see if we can verify if it's in fact routing properly. Try to add this stop over here. Doesn't matter which stop I add. It's an express line. It's not intended to carry traffic that way. And it looks like it's coming around properly. I'm going to zoom out. I think that this line was properly routed. It goes north, south, heads back to the depot. So those trains are going to start heading for this depot. There's one more thing that I need to do. I need to give it its own track to queue up in, because it will get crowded here. So I'm going to add a track right here. It's going to go into the depot. I'm going to add a waypoint. I like to put the waypoint at the end of the track, so they're all in the same place. It looks like I may have missed it. Yeah, you have to have a system for placing waypoints. Otherwise, you could have more than one waypoint on the same line, which would be, of course, redundant. So I put them all in the same place, which is end of the track. So that traffic is going to route that way, and I'm going to turn it off so it's not visible, but the traffic should be running. And the 15 line, which includes perhaps some vehicles that are queued up over here, is going to route to the other depot. I don't see any incoming 15s. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is make sure I have enough trains. And the way you do it is the number on the right, you got 16, 7, and 11. Total them all together. That's 10, 20, 27, 34. And then you add 16. which is the maintenance capacity, which would be 44, which would be 50. I only have 40, so I'm short 10 vehicles. I need to buy 10 more vehicles. I'm going to buy the high capacity vehicles. I buy the high capacity vehicles, and I buy some like the City 26 that have a shorter maintenance time. Okay, now obviously there's still a lot of congestion over here, so I'm going to see if I can find another line. We'll try the 14 line. Turn that on, see where it's going. That's also a north-south line. So I need to make the connection over here. And I need to go down to the next major intersection, which is right here, and I need to make connections heading east and west. The eastbound is going to head south, like that. That should be all the connections for the 14. So I would go here, remove any waypoints, because those direct the train into the station.